Okay. I'm ready. Let's go. What do we want to talk? What do you want to have a chit chat about?
Wait, are you recording right now?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay, so we're just gonna talk about some stuff you said to Wrath, or what's his actual name?
Akumu.
Can you send me his channel first?
He's fucking cringe. I mean, I guess.
Also, he was not qualified to speak on any of those things.
No, he wasn't, because he's fucking stupid.
It's funniest shit I've ever seen. Because
Dude,
oh my god, I could have responded to that so well. Like I know it, but like, okay, obviously you probably would have beat me no matter what I said. But
no,
for
but,
real
but the
though, like,
problem is Akumu isn't smart. He thinks he's smart, and his fan base thinks he's smart because they have no idea what they're talking about. But whenever he actually will actually get into it, and you start asking him questions like, okay, what is efficiency? How is efficiency objective? How do we measure efficiency?
oh
Right?
my
He can't answer any of that because he has no idea.
because it's objective. The
Because it's
fucking
objective.
Christmas
It's
little
objective because it's objective. And I'm like, okay, dude.
podcast.
But yeah, and then he refused to talk to me publicly. He's literally said he's gonna make a video rationalizing what he was trying to say in that debate. I'm like, dude, you know you took an L when you have to make a separate video to explain your arguments outside of a debate. That's cringe as fuck.
Fuck. Dude, what is his stance on transgenderism, anyways? He just
Oh,
hates
he
it.
doesn't like them. He just doesn't like them. I believe that's his only ideological principle. Like, I think his axiom is just like,
Oh
how
yeah,
much can I piss off transgender
you,
people?
you literally asked him his framework, and he was like, I think it's objective reality." Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know.
I don't think he knows what a framework is.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't know anything about philosophy. And it's so funny throughout the entire
Oh
because
my
he gets
god,
bullied on it. He gets fucking
he knows a
bullied
thing
on
or
it.
two about biology. That's okay. But philosophy, though, he's just lacking in that department.
I mean, he doesn't really know much about biology either. Like because
I mean,
you
he
need
knows a couple of things. Like,
he knows a couple things, but those are really basic. You can just Google that shit, dude.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Like, but
But
whatever you need, like science will like give you information to interpret that information. You require philosophy, and he can't interpret fucking any of it.
oh yeah, that reminds me of how Stephen Hawking once said philosophy is dead, and then the next fucking chapter of his book, he started talking about philosophy. I was just like, what the fuck is this? I thought he was a genius.
But yeah, what do you wanna talk about? About the debate.
All right, let's talk about that debate and like how you said there is no utility to
To what?
to differentiate sexes.
I think I said that to like the entire point of that debate for me was to show how stupid he was. I don't really
Wait,
like.
you don't actually agree with that because I have like 4 utilities it serves.
I don't know if I'd hold. I think that stance could be argued. I'm not sure if I'd be willing to argue it. I guess you could say, but I know that he couldn't argue against it. That's why I brought it up.
I
It's like,
think
what the fuck?
you
You won't
beat me in
say
an argument
anything.
one time over it because I came unprepared.
Right? Sure. Let's go into. Let's just have a discussion about it. Sure. Let's talk
Okay,
about it.
so my first point is like so like okay, so let's take this an example, right? Let's say
Sure.
John, and let's describe him as short, skinny, a male, and funny. So it serves utility because we can define him more so than if we were just to say short, skinny, funny, right? So that's my
Right. But what
first
is a
point.
male then?
What's a male? I'm pretty sure you already distinguished this in the debate, like the physical properties of a male, like
Yeah,
penis,
yeah,
more
yeah,
testosterone than women
yeah,
typically.
I think the problem is the way you could argue against this. I don't even know if I'd be willing to make this argument. I think that if you want to, like, I come up with a rebuttal off this off the top of my head, but I want to see what you say, right? So
Okay.
let's say Johnny doesn't have a penis, right? We can still describe him
Okay.
as a male, right? Um, how can we make sure that he has a penis? Is that communicated through the label of male?
I mean, obviously you can't make sure if he has a penis.
Right,
Like that's
right.
just
So
an
what
assumed
does the
thing.
label of male communicate then?
I'm sorry.
What does the label of male communicate then?
Oh, I guess it basically just communicates like a male fulfilled role, like masculinity, basically.
Right.
I would say.
Right. So the way that I'd argue that, because I don't think that's a really strong point. The way I'd argue that is it gives us a set of traits, one of the means, because sex is binomial, right? It gives us one of the means, one of the things that a lot of people fall into, and then we can list like exclusions on paperwork, right? So it'll give us a set of properties that normally occur together, and then we can label which ones are excluded, right?
Okay.
And that would serve utility by keeping things concise.
So you're agreeing then? Is that
Yeah. Yeah. I'd agree with that stance. Yeah.
okay? Okay. So next point is it serves purpose because like I think I brought up this point, but you just kind of like ignored it. I don't remember what you did, but it was like okay, so basically if I don't have a definition or I don't distinguish the sexes, like I don't say I'm a male, I'm a female, whatever the fuck, then I can't be gay, lesbian, or bisexual or transgender. I can't call myself any of those things, and those all unite the LGBTQ community. That's my second utility.
Right, but the only reason that would serve, like I say, in an ideal world, right? We don't have sexuality. I don't think those really, other than like
No,
fighting
I
for
think that
right.
in an ideal
It's the
world we would
idea.
be able to express.
No, it's the idea of like why we require identity politics, right? So ideally, like for example, we wouldn't have to like divide people up by like we wouldn't have to bring race into conversations, right? You could just ignore race. But that's not how it is right now with current systems of oppression. So we have to have some kind of race conversation, you could say. I think
Sure.
the same thing would apply to like the LGBT. I think in an
Oh,
ideal
yeah.
world where
So
like
you're
there's
like you're
no
also.
oppression, you don't have to unite people at all. They can just fuck whoever they want to fuck.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess, but don't you think that that serves a purpose to unite people more so?
But in an ideal world, you wouldn't have any utility to unite, right? You could unite under anything. But like, I think the reason we're uniting
Right, but
under
I
this
mean,
is
an
because of systems
ideal
of
world,
oppression.
right? But I mean, in an ideal world, that's unrealistic.
Oh yeah,
So
no,
it wouldn't happen.
but what I'm arguing right now is ideal theory, right? I'm arguing ideal theory
Okay,
right now.
sure, but I
If
mean,
you're
like,
talking about the
it
world
doesn't
right
really
now,
matter.
if
That's
we're
what I'm
talking about
trying
the
to say.
world right now, I'd say like, yeah, maybe, but I don't think you could come to me and say, oh, do you think we should distinguish race because it serves utility of uniting people? I'd say, well, there's a little bit more to it than that, right? I think that
Sure.
like right now, maybe we could distinguish race to help like talk about racial issues, but I don't think it's like a thing we have to hold to it. It's an objective thing that we must hold to under all circumstances.
Okay, sure. That's fine. Okay, I'll just go to the next point.
Right.
Okay, this one's kind of weird. Okay, so like,
Sure.
okay, so would you agree that if we don't have um male and female like uh distinguished, right? That basically bathrooms aren't going to be segregated, right?
I mean, yeah, but there are plenty of places where bathrooms aren't segregated.
Yeah, but I mean, like they wouldn't be segregated because we wouldn't have that distinct.
I don't care about segregation of bathrooms. I don't think it serves much purpose. I don't give a
You
fuck.
don't. I
No,
tried to
no.
link it out to like raping people, but I don't really feel
No,
like that
no.
would
Okay, so
work.
like you know how like a lot of bathrooms, for example, in a lot of places they have like unisex bathrooms, right?
Sure.
I think that's ideal. Like honestly, I think the entire distinction between the two, I think it's not very efficient. I think if we were actually like break down, I guess we could like break down what the hypothetical numbers would be, but I don't know if it like actually serves a purpose. I think if I had full control over the bathrooms, right, they'd be just all unisex, right? You just go in there on your own. You don't have to share the stall with fucking anybody because they're all fucking weirdos, and I don't want to see anyone else's dicks. Okay, I don't want to see your fucking shit. All right, I'm not dealing with that. Okay, we're not doing that today. Yeah, that's my take.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so oh yeah, I remember this. You brought up the point that like people would like kill themselves or whatever, and oh my god, dude, the guy that was debating you was so fucking stupid. He should have asked for the evidence. Oh my god.
I have the evidence though. I literally have
No,
it. I have a whole ass research
no,
document
but
on this
that's
shit,
not the
dude.
evidence I'm asking for. You said people are killing themselves. Sure, like I know the suicide rate is 50%, but you provide no evidence that even if we stopped using female and male, that somehow they're gonna stop killing themselves. Like, how do we even know that? How would we know?
Multiple different studies. Multiple different studies.
Can I see?
Yeah, sure. Social. Hold on, I gotta find the exact link in my document. The NHS of the UK on gender dysphoria. Within their section right here on potential treatments for gender dysphoria. What would you say? It recommends quote the best of set of which is said to often be, or at least it's from my notes, social and physical transition. If I can find what is it?
Oh, I mean, sure,
Treatment for
sure,
gender
fine.
dysphoria.
But we're not really talking about
Treatment for gender
transgender.
dysphoria. For some people, treatment might involve acceptance or affirmation of confirmation of their identity. There you go.
Okay,
Straight from a
sure,
very
but like
reputable
here's the
source.
thing. Here's the thing, though. Like, okay, we have trans people, right? But we also have like typical people. I'm not gonna say normal or weird or whatever, but let's just say typical. Just the typical group, right? What you would normally see,
Right,
right?
sure.
Sure. So basically, like, how does that impact out? Like, we're talking about sex, like abolishing the difference, the distinguishing of sexes, right?
Not particular. I thought we were just like discussing whether like there's a valid argument towards it. I don't know. I kind of just presented the argument because I knew that Akumu couldn't take it apart, and he couldn't because he's fucking stupid. I don't know. With the Akuma debate, I might have learned like a little bit less good faith than I normally do, but it's just because like the second I was talking about like metaphysics, I realized he didn't know fucking anything. I could roast him on fucking every single one of his takes. Because they were all so fucking dumb, dude. Holy shit. I don't know if like you could take a single particular quote. And like say, oh yeah, do you hold this stance? I mean, maybe. Fuck, dude.
My mother just walked in my room randomly.
Based. But yeah. That's just like my opinion. The entire point of that debate was someone wanted me to debate him because like they thought he was like really smart. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna show everybody how fucking
He's
dumb
not really
he is.
that smart.
I'm gonna show everybody how fucking dumb he is. Because, dude,
Such a shitty thing to do.
well, I mean, the problem. I don't care if
Dude,
people are like,
yeah.
if people are dumb, right? I don't care if you're like, I don't know anything about this. I'm like, okay, that's cool. We'll talk about it together. I'll help you get through it, right? There's no shame in not knowing something. The shame comes in for me whenever you claim to know something and you fucking don't.
Bro, Socrates said the exact same thing. I don't know what the fuck. That's so weird. But
What was the quote? What the fuck?
the quote from Socrates?
Yeah, hold up.
Oh, he said like okay, so I think it was like in one of Plato's books, and like Socrates just went around trying to prove that he was like, okay, so some god told him that he was the wisest man of all, and then so he went around trying to prove that he was not the wisest man of all. And then, like, you know, the Socratic method, and then he just questioned people until he found a contradiction. He exposed the contradiction, and they changed their opinion.
Right.
Basically, you do the same thing. And then, what happened was he was like, "Oh, I'm the wisest man because I know how stupid I am."
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like people. Like, nobody can know everything, and there's no shame in, like, not knowing something. But, like, just ask. Just ask, okay, what do you mean by that? And, like, we'll get into it. We can talk about, like, what I exactly meant by that, what these different concepts mean. But whenever you come into, like, a debate about metaphysics, and you clearly don't know anything about metaphysics, it's like, okay. I realize I can fucking roast him on every single one of his points, because they're all gonna be fucking really dumb.
Oh, the big smalls hypothetical though. He had no answer to that.
No, he didn't, because dude, he literally just like, oh yeah, that's just based on one trait, and then he went on to say, oh yeah, but sex is it has a determinant factor. Okay, so that's also based on one trait. Okay, good. We both.
Dude, oh my god, what is wrong with this guy? I watched the entire video. You would literally insult him, and then he just wouldn't say shit. He did not stand up for himself at all.
No, because he knew he was outmatched in that. You know that he was Cameron so confident, saying, "Oh yeah, but it's not that's objective." And I'm like, "Okay, but it's not. It's not, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So shut the fuck up." Legitimately,
but,
it was so fun.
You literally said right to his face, "I don't even think that this would be achievable," and he didn't even fucking respond to it. I have the quote right here. Hold on. Yeah, I can't believe you just missed it. Just look at the last sentence.
Hold on, what is this? What is this quote? I don't think
that it would be realistic, but I don't think it would be achievable.
And the more you tell me the society at this point, I'm not even sure if we could reach that society within my lifetime. Maybe not even the lifetime of the world. We have to make some very radical changes that I've never seen done before. And I think it would be the ideal society that I don't think would be achievable. And he said fucking nothing, dude.
What an idiot, bro. What the fuck? Hey, I don't think it would be achievable, though. And then him? I agree.
Huh, yeah.
Let me just fucking lose.
Okay, so we both agree that your point's fucking stupid. Like, bro, it was so funny. And then, like, you know that he knew he came out looking really shit from that. And then he went on to tell me, he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a video, like, explaining my side of this debate. Like, he's fucking, like, he's gotta, like, cope about the fact of how bad he looked from that. And I was like, dude, oh, so you just want to explain your arguments while I'm not there to take them apart. I have a live stream that's gonna be going on later today. You want to hop on my live stream? We can discuss your objections to what I said. And he tells
probably
me,
just didn't
he
answer.
tells me exactly. No, he tells me exactly, dude. Hold up. Is it Wrath? I think.
Wrath? Yeah, it's Wrath. Wait, why do you
Um,
call him Akma or whatever? What do you?
because that's his YouTube name.
Wait, send me his channel.
Um,
I want to see it. Wait, I want to have a debate with this guy.
oh my fucking god, dude, don't do it. It's so AIDS. No, but the thing
But
is, he
it's
knows how
just
to
so
use
funny,
debate.
though.
He knows how to use debate tactics, but I know how to use debate tactics better than he does.
What do you mean? Wait, did you say he does know how to use them?
He just knows how to argue. He doesn't know how to think. That's the problem. There's a lot of people who know how to argue, they don't know how to actually think about things. So you ask the right questions and you fucking break them down. They can't answer them because they have no idea.
Exactly. Because he knows nothing about philosophy.
I said, yo, you want to record a follow-up debate? You talk about some mad shit in your comments. I'm down. I said, I'm after my thesis. After my thesis. You're making a video thesis about why you did bad in that debate, dude. Holy shit.
Right, I'm now going to be talking about why I did shit in this debate.
It's actually because Bunk's retarded and nobody likes him.
Did you ever have that debate with Beating?
I talked to him about it and he never showed up. And then I was like, oh, okay, we can do it another time. And he was like, oh yeah, no, we can do it another time. And then he just never responded to me.
Yeah, he's actually in. Yeah, I don't think it's because he's scared. I think it's just because he's like super busy.
No, he is really busy. He just never responds to me with anything. I mean, the thing is, me and B-Day got agreed on like a lot of things, so I don't know like if it would be like really a heated debate. I think it would just be like a discussion of like ideas, right?
Yeah, not like what happened to Mr. Wrath over here.
Dude, no, but actually, if he wasn't stupid, right? If he just was like, okay, I'm pretty dumb on a lot of points, and like, what do you mean by all this, like that you're talking about? I'd be like, okay, I can explain this shit to you. But he never said that. He claimed to be an authority on this type of shit. I'm like, dude, his gimmick is arguing trans shit, and he fucking failed so hard.
Wait, does he usually beat people on this?
Oh yeah, he does. He does because he only he's like Steven Crowder, dude. He only argues with stupid people, really stupid people who don't do debates.
Send me his Discord. I'm gonna argue with him and post it on YouTube.
Oh my fucking, that's a horrible decision.
I know, but yeah.
I can't grab his Discord right now. I'm on streamer mode. I'm not turning it off for this shit.
Like some of the things I agree on. Well, I mean, honestly, what happened is, you know how like I was very out about like my opinion on the trans issues.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I honestly just don't give a shit anymore. Like, if you want to like cut your dick off or whatever, like I don't even care. That's your body. I don't care.
I think the weirdest point that you argue was like there's two genders. Like I don't give a fuck. Like that's a purely semantical distinction that doesn't really fucking matter. The point is like we study like gender. Gender has like there's something that we can call gender, right? There are people who think that they're in different bodies. And for whatever reason that may be, right, there's definitely like societal roles that are given to the sexes or the stereotypical sexes. And then like we just use gender to describe that. I don't really know if it matters if we just call it gender or we call it like whatever the fuck else. Like I don't know if it matters. You know what I mean?
Like by gender, you mean like societal.
Right, no, like the idea, like the general accepted idea of gender is like, oh yeah, it's like the societal roles that people are in, and then like there's gender identity and gender expression. Gender identity would be like how you view yourself, right? And then gender expression is like how you outwardly express yourself. And then like the funniest bit was Akuma didn't know what the difference between those two things were. And he argued like, oh, so are DID people? Do they have multiple? Are they like multiple different people because they believe it? I'm like, dude, no. But there'd be a claim to that they believe that they're multiple different people. Sure, that would be true if they believed that if they believed that they were multiple different people, they would believe that they were multiple different people. Yes, that's
I thought that argument was actually going in a really good direction, and he kind of got you there for a second until you kind of like you kind of got your ground back.
Oh yeah, like no, because here's the thing, I thought that he was actually arguing something, and then he like, I realized, oh wait, no, he's really stupid on this point too. He doesn't know the difference between expression and identity. Those are two different things. Those are two different concepts. One makes a claim to physical reality. The other one makes a claim to how you view yourself. That's an internal claim.
I don't know. When he said like people that have like different personalities and believe that they're multiple people, and then like I thought he was going in a very good direction for a second, and he's finally getting into philosophy. And then, like, you just called him out on the point that, like, okay, well, yeah, there were scientific studies, which is, I don't know, the field that he's supposed to be an quote expert in, and then if there were scientific studies saying that calling them we or whatever the fuck, some weird name, and then saying, oh, you can have this surgery or whatever the fuck would help them, then we could do it.
Yeah, but like if you can't make a claim to that, like there's like no evidence of that, like what the fuck? Who cares? like,
No.
like it's kind of like the transracial point for me. Like it might be like fucking racist, it might not be, but like if you could show me data that people are like en masse killing themselves because they're not the right skin tone, whatever the fuck, like
you know
sure.
I mean, that was like white that changed to be Korean because he was like a BTS stan or something.
Yeah, I'm aware that got what was his what was his
how did
name?
he get permission for that surgery?
I don't fucking know, dude.
Like a normal facial surgery or whatever.
I think it's just like I think you just go into like a plastic surgeon. You say, "Hey, pull my eyes back like I'm a fucking what?
Make me look like this dude." Okay, we got you.
Pull my eyes back till I look like I'm not gonna say that. That's a based word.
Oh, I love that word.
But yeah, dude.
There's this one time I was like, so I rarely ever argue with my friends because most of the time they just ignore me or call me an idiot or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They typically just ignore me because they don't know how to respond. But there was this one time that right, so I'm in band and my band friends were just like arguing about like how, or not arguing, but they just kept on reaffirming their beliefs that like this dude that got expelled for college for making this racist joke like should have gotten expelled. And I was just like, no the fuck he should not have. And then I said like, okay, so the consequences, I basically just weighed impacts at that point. Like a joke that offends people for like what 5 minutes versus someone's whole life ruined. Like that's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really agree with like. I think jokes should like forever like jokes should always be regarded as jokes. Like there's certain jokes that like reinforce like bad ideas, and I suppose like we can get into like which jokes you should be making. But I also think like edgy jokes do serve a purpose, right? You can use edgy jokes to like make critiques about society, right?
Sure.
So if I were to come out the next day and be like, yo, George Floyd deserved it, definitely, because he was black, so he definitely deserved to get killed by Officer Derek Chauvin. Like, come on, guys. Like, it's obvious, right? That's obviously a critique on people who genuinely believe that. That's not me saying, like, that's actually what we should believe. That's a critique, right? But then there's also people who will be like...
genuinely believe that.
Yeah, I'm satirizing the idea of people who genuinely believe that, yeah.
But I mean, like, here's the thing. If I were to, like, say something really shitty, like, just go up to a black person, like, just I don't know, say something really.
You're a fucking Nick.
Okay, and I was just okay, and they like told on me or whatever the fuck, or told the police, or I don't fucking care, or beat my ass, I don't know, and I just said, yo, it was just a joke. And then I mean, like, if it's derogatory, I think when it starts getting like, well, then we draw the line, like derogatory.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between like personal jokes and like if I go up to like a black person and I say, "You're stupid fucking Nick," like, you know, that's a difference between like me saying, "Oh yeah, like black people are like, you know, blank," you know what I mean? There's a different like in direction of that joke. I don't think like the first one could ever be used like for societal benefit, and I think the second one can. I think that's what that's where.
Wait, what was the first? Wait, what was the second one? I only heard the you're a fucking.
Okay, the second one would be like me saying, "Oh yeah, black people are Nick." Like there's clearly a difference in intent and how it's like executed, right? So I think that's what like you draw the line, right?
Right.
Like two jokes can be edgy, but they can both be like one can be like societally acceptable and the other one can't. Like edgy is not the only way we judge like someone's, you know, words.
Right. Like what made me stop caring about like the trans issue is just because like I know people like that at my school, and honestly they're nice to me. And not many people are. Most people are just like, oh, fuck that guy. Yeah. But I don't know. They're cool. So I don't really mind them. And I don't know. It's just like, even if I was right, like, it doesn't matter. And I'm not going to change anyone's opinion. And even if I did, like, it still really probably would not matter that much.
I don't really think it matters to like any kind of prescriptive statement. I don't really know if that would matter too much. That's the problem with it. Like, I don't know if like therapy would be like a good idea. I don't really know, to be honest. I think that generally speaking, at least the studies that I've seen, like transition's a good idea, but I don't fucking know, dude. Like, honestly, we could argue about this for like fucking ages. I don't think we get anywhere.
Whenever I look at like arguments, like even in debate class, right?
Yeah.
I'll look at the affirmative side and the negative side, right? Or whatever,
Mhm.
the negating side. And then I'll just find out like both of these arguments suck. And because like I'm the second speaker, so I do rebuttals. So I know why all the arguments suck. So the reason why the conservative argument in transgenderism sucks is because it's back to like by Ben Shapiro. And then Ben Shapiro says, okay, it's the Sweden study, but the Sweden study has two flaws. One, the first is that the author literally disagrees with it. And the second is that there's like no good control group. And then if I look at like transgender people activists and like their studies, like there's 50 of them, and then like I looked at 8 of them, and then all because I didn't want to go through 50 of them. Do you want to go through 50 studies? No, hell no.
I will go through 56 different studies. Yes, that is what I will do.
You probably did, honestly, but all of them were non-longitudinal, and
I literally have a longitudinal study within my fucking thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't even think there's such a thing.
No, I literally have it. It's literally a longitudinal study. I'm looking at it right now.
But you have one?
Yeah, like I'll send it to you right now. Yeah, sure.
Wait, what's the conclusion? What's the method?
The methodology, they check in between 55 transgender young adults, 22 trans women, 33 trans men who received like puberty suppression during adolescence that were assessed 3 different times, right? One was like at the mean age of like 13 years old, right? The next one would be at 16 or 17 years old, and then the next one was at like 20 years old. That's a
Okay.
longitudinal study.
Sure. Hold on.
And then it says after gender reassignment in young adulthood, the gender dysphoria was alleviated, psychological functioning has really improved, well-being was similar to that of a same age young adult. In the general population, the improvements in psychological function were positively correlated with a post-surgical subjective well-being.
How long ago did this go on?
What do you mean? How long ago did this go on?
Like, I mean, what was the duration of the study?
Oh, the duration of the study was from when they were 13 years old to like when they were 20 years old, which would be that's like 7 years, right?
Yeah, that's pretty longitudinal. I think Ben Shapiro, but Ben Shapiro's a fucking idiot. He says that like
he's definitely
30 years or whatever. But I don't think we're ever gonna get a study like that. At least not anytime soon. So I guess that's what we'll have to do for now.
Right, but it is longitudinal in nature. That's literally what it is. It's multiple different checks between, multiple years worth of duration. That's a longitudinal study. Like that's just what it is. Anybody, any researcher would tell you this is longitudinal. So I don't really give a fuck what Ben Shapiro has to say. Yeah, but it seems pretty good to me. If you want, I can send you the entire document that I have. I have about because I watched through one of Akumu's debates.
Oh no!
After our debate went down, and it was so stupid, dude. I found multiple contradictions in it, and there's literally multiple pages here, which is like, oh, this is really fucking stupid. This is why it's really fucking stupid.
Wait, did you prepare for that debate with Akuma?
No, I didn't do any prep work.
Not at all.
No, I didn't do fucking anything, dude. I didn't do anything because I didn't think he was smart. I was like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll have a chit chat on my stream. I literally said, "Oh, I'm gonna go live like immediately after I get home from work. You wanna hop on?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll let you on my stream." I'm like, "That's cool." And I didn't do any research for any of it beforehand. It was completely like shit that I already knew.
Well, I mean, like the benefit of philosophy is like, I don't know, it's just fun, right?
Yeah.
I just love philosophy, so you just memorize it if you like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. And that's kind of like how it is for me. Like you argue about this stuff enough, like you kind of have like a lot of things memorized. You have like the lower levels of rhetoric memorized. You can basically do it off the top of your head. Yeah.
Right, just like the laws of logic, and then logical fallacies, and then Socratic method, and then I don't know. Yeah. I have a full-on document on it, but I never use it because I don't really need it. I just made it because I was really bored.
Yeah, I'll send you it. It's from, I think. Hold up. I gotta. Yeah. Let me send my account to pull up this document. Everything below a certain part. I think it's after the APA. Oh no. It's arguments for Akuma, because like a lot of people are gonna ask me about Akumu recently, so I literally just went through one of his debates and I just marked down everything that was just like really fucking wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I don't even think he knew what utility was.
No, he didn't. I asked him and he didn't know. You had no idea what I was talking. It was like, and then he was talking like, hey, here's a really weird definition for utility. That's literally the first thing when you look up the words. Okay, when you Google
It just means
utility, ethics. You Google it, the first thing that comes up is the principle of utility. And the first lines from that is, the principle of utility states that actions and behaviors are right insofar as they promote happiness and pleasure, wrong as in they tend to lead to produce unhappiness or pain. Hence, utility is a, what is that? Teleological principle. That's literally the first thing that comes up. This is what utility means.
For the definition I got was that it just served purpose.
No, not particularly.
Like, okay, so for example, you say like
this
utility, like blah blah blah, something doesn't have utility. Okay, so what serves purpose? Well, I mean, I
Right,
guess
but serves a
basically what
purpose is literally appealing to utility. Like, that's just a really long roundabout way of like saying it has utility, right? So the principle of utility is to maximize purpose. And I think purposes are always maximized by your own individual preferences, which we tend to maximize.
Sure. Wait,
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes up when you look up utility and ethics.
bro, I read about utilitarianism from a philosophy book.
Mm-hmm.
There's rule and act. I can't remember the difference, so.
Rule utilitarianism is the idea that we ought to follow the rules which will lead to the best outcomes, the best utility. And then act utilitarianism assesses each individual action by whether it will be most utilitarian or not, right? So the difference between like me and like an act utilitarian, right, would be like let's say we have a person in a medical bed, right, and they have a lot of organs. They're like almost perfectly healthy or whatever the fuck. I don't really care. They could be like near death. It doesn't really matter. And we have like 5 different people who are all near death, and they really need the organs from this one person. And killing this one person can help all those other people. An act utilitarian would say that we ought to kill the person in the bed to save the 5 other people, because that maximizes utility. I would say that would be a bad idea, because the rule that I tend to follow would say that that action would set a precedent for hospitals in which people wouldn't be going to hospitals anymore, right? Because you could be killed at any point just for your organs. If enough people needed them, which would render hospitals nearly completely useless, which would not maximize utility. So that we ought not do that.
Oh, good point. There's this one, I was watching this philosophy lecture by this guy, and then some kid came up and he was like, well, wait a minute. What if we just killed one of the unhealthy people and gave the unhealthy person's organs and distributed all of them to the 4 other people? And he was like, good idea, but you just ruined the entire philosophical principle right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's the primary difference between like act utilitarianism and rule utilitarianism. I tend to think rule utilitarianism is preferable, because I like to assess things overall in a more overarching scope than like the direct, like let's say the immediate impacts of an action.
Well, I mean, rules, they sound directly like deductive reasoning. Like, if we have certain rules for something, like Socrates is a man. Socrates is from Athens. Athens is in Greece. Like, those are 2 rules, and then we know
Socrates is Greece. Yeah, is Greece.
Socrates is from Greece.
Yeah. I suppose it could be like deductive reasoning to an extent. Yeah. But I think it's like more assessing like what principles ought to be upheld to maximize society, right?
Right.
Like what principles do you violate by doing certain actions?
So that's why you like make the difference between like why you shouldn't cheat or lie or like do any of that.
Yeah, it's real utilitarianism. Yeah. Because like once you allow people to, let's say, go back on their word because like it maximizes the direct benefits, I think that leads to an overall worse society where people
Okay, so like how would you respond to like slavery? Because when I was reading that philosophy book, it said like you can justify slavery with utilitarianism.
So slavery, the main problem I have with slavery is because my utilitarianism, that always leads back to kind of like an egoistic or like a descriptive egoism, right? I think I want to live in a society which maximizes my preferences. I think my preferences are great. I really like it when my preferences are maximized, because they're my preferences, obviously. So whenever someone says, "Oh yeah, but you could justify slavery," the way that I push back on it is I say, "Okay, but when we justify slavery for one group of people, okay, let's say we justify slavery for like black people, right? We don't like black people. Let's enslave some black people, right? Let's make society better by enslaving black people." Someone's gonna clip that. Anyways, let's make society better. Let's slave black people. It's a great idea, right? Now, like we enslave like 500 black people. What's to stop them for saying, "Okay, now we're gonna enslave brown-haired people"? Because that'll make society better. Okay, on what grounds do I object to that? We've set a precedent that we can enslave people based on like the utility of other people. I have no grounds to advocate for my own non-enslaved or my own freedom, right? And I think that would be bad.
So if
I
we
think that'd
like
be a bad idea.
enslaved every single baby we had, and it somehow benefited society, and like we don't push any farther.
But
What do you
I
have to
don't
say
think you
about
could
that?
guarantee we couldn't push any farther. I don't know if you'd be able to justify not pushing any farther, right? Like how do
It's
you
a
justify
hypothetical.
that?
It's hypothetical. I don't know. It's hypothetical.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
just
think you'd be able to
what if?
justify that. That's why I think the hypothetical would probably be flawed. But like, I suppose like I don't know if I care too much. But the problem would be like the reason I care is because it would be descriptive of like what could happen to me, right? Because like once you say, oh yeah, we can enslave like babies, we can also enslave like older people.
Like I said, you don't care
Now we're
about slavery.
enslaving, and now we're enslaving everybody. Slavery is great. Slavery is based, anyways. I endorse slavery, guys.
What's base thing I've heard all day?
What are you telling me? Slavery is bad?
No, not at all.
But yeah, that's the distinction I make between like act and rule utilitarianism. I think rule utilitarianism is generally preferable, but you'll get like people who will disagree with me on that. Yeah.
Okay, so I get it now. That you explained it a lot better than that fucking philosophy book.
Yeah, dude.
It literally just explained rule utilitarianism. Although I have it right next to me.
Yeah.
It explained it as like quality of life or something. I don't know, some weird shit. Wait, you know how like utilitarianism is called consequentialism? What's the other one called? Deontology?
Yeah.
Like the category?
Yeah, deontology.
Consequentialism and something else.
I'm not exactly sure. I think deontology is overwhelmingly pretty stupid. I don't like deontology.
Yeah, I don't really like it either.
I think it leads to really dumb conclusions. I completely reject it.
I don't know.
Like let's say you were in like Nazi Germany and someone was like one of the Führer came up to your door, right? They knocked on your door and they're like, "Hey, you got any Jews in that basement?" And you would be like, "Okay, well, I can't lie. There aren't Jews in my basement, right? Because that'd be violating the rule to not lie."
Robert Hume said that, and he justified it by saying, "Well, you're not a moral agent in it." Like,
yeah,
what?
You are. Yeah, you fucking are.
Yes, you fucking are. You
right?
Gave away the Jews' location.
You are directly taking action. You are making a normative choice on which action will have a consequence, and you were saying, "Oh yeah, that's okay." I mean, I'm okay with that. Sure, fuck up the Jews, dude. Gas the Jews. Stupid. I'm okay with it.
I was having this debate with someone just a second ago that said like he was basically like technically the genocide that the Jews faced was correct, and I was like, well, this is gonna be fun. And then basically I just said that his entire thing was a false dilemma, and that even if that would happen, like there's other solutions. And okay, so basically his whole argument was like overpopulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him for the evidence that overpopulation was a problem, or that somehow like if we don't kill 6 million people, it's going to escalate to overpopulation. And then he was just like common sense.
It's common sense is the stupidest argument ever. It's literally an argument from intuition. It's literally an argument from incredulity. That's literally what it is.
Wait, what is that?
An argument for incredulity says that a conclusion must be wrong because I don't understand it or it isn't intuitive to me. So
it's a fallacy then.
Yeah, it's completely fallacious.
Okay. Is it like documented as a fallacy? Is like
oh yeah, no. If you look up, if I look up argument from incredulity.
Yeah, like I always argue against
argument from incredulity, also known as the argument from personal incredulity, appeal to common sense, or divine fallacy, is a fallacy in informal logic. It asserts that a proposition must be false because it contradicts one's personal experiences or beliefs, or is difficult to imagine.
Well, I mean, like if that were true, then like everything would be false. Because like everyone's personal experiences most of the time they contradict.
Yeah, that's why it's fallacious. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's why, like, whenever someone says, "Oh yeah, it's common sense," and I'm like, "Okay, I reject common sense completely. Tell me why. What is common sense about this?"
Yeah, give me exactly. Like, what if I was about to say, like, oh, you want proof for my side of the argument? Okay, common sense. There you go. You're welcome.
Common
What would he
sense,
say? Oh yeah,
boys.
good argument, bro.
Well, you see, killing 6 million Jews is bad because it's bad. Common sense, my dude. L? What are you, stupid?
This thing I've ever heard.
One day I just wanna actually I wanna go to like some random Discord like debate servers because all the people there are pretty stupid, right? I just wanna join a random Discord debate server. I just wanna be like, guys, Hitler was kind of right. And I just want to argue that point to like tooth and nail.
Dude, and what if you actually won though?
I did one time I joined an LGBTQ like debate, like people were debating like LGBTQ rights, and I straight up joined in because they were all being really stupid. And I joined in. I was like, I'm gonna do a little trolling. I joined in and I started arguing that dream sexual was a real thing that we should honor. And I won. I won that argument.
What? What did you say?
I literally just said, self-report is all we need to justify whether someone is a homosexual or bisexual or whatever, right? That's what we normally use to justify something. Therefore, if someone self-reports, or a lot of people self-report to be dream sexual, that is enough. That is epistemic justification to believe that is a real thing, and nobody could counter that because they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Wait, send me some debate servers. I think I have one. It's Iron Politics, and everyone in there is a fucking dickhead. Dude, I swear to God, none of these people ever went to debate class. None of them know what none of them have any idea what they're doing.
Dude, literally, I joined a Discord debate server and someone was arguing about like abortion or some shit. And I think their name was like fucking Ted. And Ted's like universally hated in those server, I come to realize. So I joined in. And Ted like thinks he's a hot shot. He thinks he's the fucking smartest guy in the fucking server, dude. And I'm like, okay. He's like, oh yeah, you can't make the argument that abortion is more convenient than other things because you could literally just have a C-section. Like, what the fuck? This makes no sense. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop you right there, my dude, because what you just said was really fucking stupid. You know how much a C-section costs within the United States of America? He's like, I have no idea.
Nope.
I was like, it is around $2,000. It was like $20,000, right? Something around that. You know how much a Plan B pill costs within the United States of America? And he's like, I have no idea. That's $50,
like
my
$50.
dude. That's fucking $50.
Really? I already did that.
And he literally cuts me off before I can even say it. He's like, you're not gonna talk over me. You're not gonna talk over me, dude. You're not gonna talk over me. You can't talk over me, dude. I'm like, I'm literally counting your argument. Just let me finish, my guy. And he's like, you're not gonna talk over me. You can't do this to me. Dude, it never works. Nobody ever talks over me. And I'm like, he literally mutes me. And I'm like, okay, this guy's actually, I just like, we all, I agree to, everyone in the VC agrees to mute him because he's so fucking insufferable. I unmute him 10 minutes later. He's going on to himself still. He's not talking to anybody.
But he's still like, just
yes,
gibber.
And I literally just said, this motherfucker's LARPing a debate, bro. He doesn't even want to actually argue with people. He wants to feel like he's arguing with people.
What the fuck is this?
Dude, it was so fucking pathetic. Oh my god.
Want to join a debate server and just team up with each other and just destroy everyone?
Yeah.
I was thinking about, like, I'm in this club called Politicians Club or whatever in high school, and like I have my debate bro in there who's like my partner in PF or whatever, and I was thinking about just like disagreeing with the abortion thing because one of the chicks was in there and she has like no debate experience. She was like, I think that abortion is right or something. And I was thinking about just like making an entire case just disproving that or something.
Literally just play devil's advocate just to fuck with people. That's what I do sometimes. Like, I know you're stupid, but I'm just gonna like really make you feel stupid, right?
I know I'm wrong, but I'm still gonna make you feel like an idiot.
I think someone gave me the best quote ever. Someone was like, I think that it was some shit like, I think that you can actually argue in the affirmative that incest is okay, better than a majority of people in the commentary community could deny it. Or like not incest, it was like pedophilia. I actually argued about incest. Did you see that debate?
Yeah, I saw some of it, and then Aiden was like, he cited a pedophilia thing, and
yeah,
you were like, I see that card, and then he was just like, oh sure, and then you were just like, dude, this is about fucking children, you dumbass.
It was like, that's fair. Dude, actually, Augie RFC and Nicholas Doria watched it on stream. They watched it on their own streams, dude. I feel like...
He literally said, that's fair.
Oh my god. Dude, I met Nicholas Dorio through that debate. And that's the funniest shit to me.
Wait, what did he say about it? Was he just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, he actually came in. He was like, people are actually don't realize how hard of a conversation this is to have. It's actually like really difficult. And I was like, yeah, I know that. That's why I'm having, dude, literally Aiden Projects. He demanded to debate me. He literally was in my fucking DMs. He tweeted me on Twitter like multiple times. I legitimately thought he was fucking with me. So I just kept calling him a cracker. I just called him a cracker repeatedly on the timeline. I just said, okay, cracker, or blocked and reported cracker, right? Some dumb shit like that. And he responds to one of my tweets like, debate me, unironically. No joke, no meme.
Ooh.
And I'm like, okay, no, I'll debate
Pretty
you when you follow
intimidated.
me back on Twitter. And I'm like, and he follows me back, and he DMs me, and I was like, okay, what are your political stances? And I'm like, okay, here's my, I lay out like my stances on like some popular issues. And he's like, okay, we agree on all that. What's your hottest take? And I just said, incest is morally neutral. And he's like, we're arguing about that. I'm like, okay, my dude, I wouldn't do that if I were you, but okay, let's go.
No. He had the exact same stance as you, and then guess what? Everyone was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this kid?"
No, but people know they can't argue with me on this. They know that they fucking can't because, dude, I literally made my reputation in the community.
You're not talking about just any incest. You're talking about incest where like,
oh yeah,
there's like nothing bad happening.
Not all incest is bad, right? Or not all incest is good, right? Like, I wouldn't defend, like, a 40-year-old dude fucking his 9-year-old daughter, right? I wouldn't defend that. That's not okay obviously, because it's incest, right? But I don't think incest is what's wrong there. I wouldn't, like, defend a 40-year-old guy fucking a 9-year-old that wasn't his daughter either, right? The incest isn't what's wrong there. It's a completely different thing. I don't think the incest has any point on it. And then, like, actually, Aiden Project straight up took a eugenics stance, and I was like, okay, my dude, I'm just gonna let you bite the bullet. I didn't want to, like, grill Aiden Projects on that, because I'm not, like, that much.
Dude, what's the eugenics?
Oh yeah, I said, to make the assessment that is morally wrong to pass down certain genetics is a eugenicist stance. That to make a moral claim to genetics because what you consider to be like unoptimal for like genes is completely subjective. To take that stance, that is a eugenicist stance. Would you take a stance similar to eugenicist?
Why do you say that's wrong? Like, okay, so for example, if there's like two,
because I think that framework leads to like abhorrent conclusions.
How so?
I think that with that framework, you justify any particular genetic deformity being bad. Like you could say, oh yeah, I think autism's bad. Okay, why is autism bad? Because like it doesn't like optimize life in the way that I want it to, so I don't want it for somebody else. And like, okay, dude. And then you could make the argument, oh yeah, we should like abort autistic babies because they're fucking autistic, right? You can make like any fucking argument from there, and I think it just leads to really bad conclusions. And I just don't like taking that stance. I don't really like to argue the inbreeding point though. I don't think it's.
I'm pretty sure last week actually took the stance that like so for example, like if you have some like disease that like makes it so that you can't contribute to society, then we ought not to pass down that disease. And I was like,
right. That's like a eugenicist stance, I would say. Yeah, that's a stance from eugenics. I mean,
like on first glance, like I'm super unprepared for this, so I'm not going to debate you on this because I know I'll lose no matter what. Yeah. So at first glance, I was like, yeah, maybe. Like obviously, preventing them is not going to harm them, and if they can't properly contribute to society, then by utilitarianism, like that's unjust to put that precedent.
I might agree with you. Like it might be like a more like you ought to not do that. Like sure, I guess we could like agree on that. But I think the point that I'm getting at is like people are like, oh yeah, how are you gonna if you think incest should be like permissible by a society, how are you gonna stop that? I'm like, okay, we already don't like stop people from like passing on bad what would you call it?
That's where you're going from. That's how you made that connection. Okay.
Yeah, we don't stop people from society from passing on bad genes. Like, we don't do that.
When you talk about like incest, I'm thinking like someone with a contraceptive or birth control.
That too. But this is like the inbreeding point. When people like bring up, oh yeah, incest ought to be bad because the inbreeding point.
I think that's a good point.
Control incest. You should like how are we gonna control inbreeding? I'm like, okay, we already don't control like that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean like. If I think,
but if you believe we should, then you have to bite the bullet. Oh yeah, I think we should also probably like forcefully sterilize people who have like really bad genetics that'll pass on, right?
Yeah.
And then like that's like a really bad conclusion, and people look really bad when they argue that, and it's like such an important conclusion that I just cannot accept it. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, okay, if I were to argue that right now, like, what would you say?
Well, if you were to argue that right now, I would say that I don't think that will maximize your preferences because I bet you have some genes that people might consider to be unoptimal. The idea that you ought to be sterilized because of that would not maximize your preferences. The same would go for me. I don't think anyone truly wants that. I think that would be a completely ignorant stance to hold.
So
everyone has a set of genes that we consider not optimal. It just depends on how much you break it down. Like that's the problem with eugenics.
Like, so you're saying like
no, like me and you, we probably have recessive genes that like could cause some really fucked shit, right? If you were to break it down all the way down there, I guess you could probably say, oh yeah, we ought to be sterilized, but I don't think that's like an actual argument you should make. I don't think that maximizes anybody's preferences. I think that's stupid.
I mean, yeah, but what if we were to draw that line, like, let's say at like Down syndrome or something, right?
Right, but why at Down syndrome? Like if we accept like Down syndrome's bad,
okay, so...
no, but if we accept like Down syndrome's bad, right? Let's say, oh yeah, Down syndrome bad, right? Bad, it's bad because you can't contribute to society as well. Right? Why can't we draw? Why can't we draw that also at like other conditions that also might be bad for society? Like why not?
But it's also bad for the person at hand because it ruins their life if they have it. So
right, but I don't think that doesn't help them though. So
it doesn't help them to prevent it from happening again.
No, it might help them prevent it from happening again, but like that would also be preventing it to happen. To sterilize both you and me, that would also be preventing a recessive gene.
So are you saying like it could escalate into someone like it starts slow?
It inevitably must escalate. Every single time eugenics has been put into place, that's why like it turns into racism. No, like this is it sounds like a slippery slope is a fallacy until you can like back it up, but like you can look in history. Every single time that we've implemented eugenics, it inevitably leads to it. Right? That's just how it has to go.
So if we could make it so that it did not escalate, and we had a set line, and we had a set normative, if somehow
you could justify that, maybe. But I don't think you could guarantee that by any means, especially with how it's played out throughout history. I don't think you'd be able to make that claim. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I brought up that point, but I don't really care to argue the inbreeding point because I don't think it's like nearly as easy to like completely wreck people on as the fucking incest point because people are really stupid on that. And I don't know why Aiden wanted to argue it so bad. He was like demanding the debate. And I was like, okay, dude, I guess, sure.
At all. He had like 1 or 2 studies, I bet.
No, I literally asked him, and he literally started Googling. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna Google a study." And I watched Nicholas Yori's reaction. He's like, "Dude, if you're at a point in a debate where you have to Google a source, just admit that you fucking lost. Move on from that point." Okay. Yeah, the one thing you don't want is fucking bunk reading off your study to you for the first time you're reading it.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. Like you have to look at the method and the conclusion. That takes you like a good 10 minutes just to do all that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, that's why it's really fucking horrible. But that's like, dude, that's why it's the most Chad move ever to like for me to just like say, okay, I'm gonna actually just read your study out. We're actually gonna go through it myself. All right, and we're gonna read every single bit of this.
Wait, I bet you he just looked at the conclusion, not the method at all. Wait, not even the conclusion. He just looked at the title.
Yeah, he did. He actually did because it references children multiple times, like multiple times. It's about children like being affected by incest.
Like, oh yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's stupid.
And he literally prepared. I gave him time. I didn't prepare anything for this debate. I think the one thing I did prepare is I wrote down my thoughts before the debate. Right. So if I pull up debate, hold up. I gotta minimize something on my computer so I can find it on my thing. Hold up. Okay. If I pull up debate notes, like I'll show this to the recording too because I'm just that much of a fucking big dick swinger. Okay, hold up. Not media source. That's not what I want. I want a window capture, and it's gonna be a new window capture. I'm just gonna leave it like notes. Right, so if I pull up my debate, because I just went through, I wrote down everything that I was thinking before the debate started, right?
Right.
And I'll put it in the corner right there. Actually, I'll just like move it up. I did write down an opening statement. That's the one thing I did have prepared. Hold up, I'll share my screen to you as well. So I did all of this beforehand.
God damn! What the fuck?
I just wrote down my. I literally just looked up and I just it's like, oh yeah, incest does not equal inbreeding. Example 1, two homosexual brothers kept apart from birth, come together and they want to have intercourse. What is morally objectionable about that? Some examples is what if both siblings are infertile? Are they allowed to are there that they use contraception, forms of sexual activity that don't result in offspring, homosexual as well. This is the part that I brought up. This framework leads to objectionable outcomes. Let's say like a couple have two recessive genes, but are not related, but
Yeah,
have a
that's like
high likelihood to get genetically bad offspring. Would
that's
you
one of
bar
the
them from having
arguments that like
intercourse?
yeah, that's
Right?
one of the arguments that I just like wouldn't think about because typically like when I think about like incest, you typically want to make the argument that they're just not gonna inbreed at all. They're just not gonna reproduce at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then like, yeah, this framework gives you objectionable outcomes. Most people find it disgusting. This is an intuitive stance. Naturalistic fallacy as well. Just
Yeah,
because
it's
something
totally
has an
nature.
impulse to steal money, that doesn't mean it's morally just. This is the fourth part. I think I brought this up. Sure, more incest means more inbreeding, but it can be practiced safely if you're pro-gun. Because I actually did ask him. I did ask Aiden. He gave me a stance that he was pro-gun. So I said, if you're pro-gun, more guns will result. Gun deaths will happen. However, there are responsible gun owners, and you seem to be okay with bad externalities happening from actions, so long as they can be done safely.
Oh, good point.
What is considered genetically bad is completely subjective, and therefore assigning morality is flawed to it. For example, I have autism. Some people will say that is a bad thing. I don't think it is. Disgust does not equal morally wrong.
I mean,
think
autism is like one of those things that people call disability, but it's really only a social disability. It's
I
not
mean,
an
it can
intellectual
be.
disability.
It can be like for some people. Like for example, I just had to like learn a little bit more about like interactions at an early age. I also have a bit of an odd speaking pattern. Like people say I talk like Ben Shapiro, right? That's like the thing people bring up. Oh, like, oh yeah, you
Kinda.
talk really fast. You talk like Destiny. You talk like Ben Shapiro. Like, okay, yeah, I talk quick. Yeah. That might be a product of my autism. And then I just had to learn some certain like societal tendencies whenever I was young. Yeah. I find people pissing in someone's mouth to be disgusting. That doesn't make a moral claim. I wouldn't
love
bar
that
people from
example.
engaging in that behavior. I find it disgusting on those grounds alone, right? So this is the difference between a descriptive and a normative claim, right? So I find it descriptively disgusting. That is
It
not a
hurts the
normative claim.
family.
It is the family. Not everything. You see how quickly I typed this. Not everything that hurts the family is bad. Let's say you live in a racist Southern household. Dating outside your race may hurt the family or the family structure. That it may cause a rift in the family. That doesn't make it morally wrong. It's a horrible place to judge things off of. It is a bad moral guiding. People's preconceived biases can lead to non-intrinsic harm. You don't have to million different examples of this, such as coming out as LGBTQ or dating outside your religion. Hold up. All these would hurt the family. It doesn't make them wrong. In a world where everyone is accepting, this wouldn't have any effect. And saying that it's a bad because it's not commonly accepted right now is something I reject as well. Example, you could say gay people come back to a religious time. Let's say somewhere before the 1970s. That would be seen as wrong, probably, and probably break up the family. However, it doesn't make it as morally wrong. If you mean children, example, what if both siblings are infertile? Whatever the fuck. Yeah, those are some examples to that.
Power dynamics.
Yeah. I think I have power dynamics as well. It can be applied to normal relationships. Blah, 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 blah. Power dynamics. We just established that toxic dynamics are bad. So is rape. I don't disagree, but I think it's not related to the core idea of incest. There are also extra points to be made, such as what if you're establishing a bad relationship with all the bad, but are bad with. You're establishing bad relationships are bad without all incestuous relationships falling under that, as well as some straight relationships. What the fuck? Normal relationships, or I should say non-incestuous. That should be the point.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Incestuous relationships. So that this has nothing to do with incest. What I need you to do. I think I brought this up. I wasn't looking at any of these. These are just like I just wrote them down because like I was just preparing because I wanted. This was gonna be my big debate, right? This was like my big. Everybody knew about me because of this debate, right? You're like, oh shit, fucking Aiden Projects is arguing fucking incest with a Debate Bros streamer. We have to show up to this shit, you know?
Wait, how many views did that get?
Oh, it got a shit ton, dude. I think the video came out, right? And it got like, I think initially, whenever the video came out, it has like 300 views, like 350 views on YouTube right now. And I think when I was streaming it, like John Swan showed up, Nicholas DiOrio even caught wind of it. We had like a bunch of different commentators in chat. A lot of people in the stream. Nicholas DiOrio called into the stream. It was a very big event, we could say. I think it had like around 30 consecutive viewers at any given time, which is pretty good. Yeah,
that's very good.
Let's go back to the
I
point
feel like
document.
this is like one of those topics that you just intuitively you would say like right off the bat that it's just bad, but
Yeah.
like after you look a little bit deeper, it's just like it doesn't make sense anymore why you would say that because it just contradicts with everything else that you say is bad and good and whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
And then I think this is the final point. What I need to do, I need to contradict your normative. I need to construct a normative moral framework, find axioms that condemn incest while remaining consistent with other points that it may apply to. This is how we construct consistent logical argument. If you construct it, we can test it, and then we can test it for consistency. If it's not consistent, it's logically sound. It would be hard right now. This is an argument from pragmatic implementation. It's not.
But
An
it sounds like
argument
just
from
shit that you
moral
copied from LD or whatever.
What the fuck is LD?
LD, Lincoln Douglas.
What the fuck? Oh, what is there like a Lincoln
LD?
Douglas website? What the fuck? You mean the debate?
No. Like I mean, like okay, so when you're doing like PF, the older kids give you a block file and they have like all this logical shit in it, like this stuff, which I thought was pretty cool.
I wrote this in a couple of minutes before the debate.
So you just know this off the top of your head?
Yeah, I just wrote down my first thoughts.
Did you this in LD?
What now? No, no, they didn't teach me like this, but I think they taught me how to like construct a research document or like construct like certain logical arguments, right? They teach me how to like build a logical argument, but they didn't like teach me like to make these, right? I just made these on my own. In fact, one thing that I actually do, right? Whenever I'm having a debate with somebody, you'll see me all the time. You'll see me like typing away on my keyboard when people are talking to me, and that's because I normally make a document, right? And it's called like a note or some shit on my desktop, right? And
right.
Like for example, let's say I'm having an argument with somebody, and they go on for a really long time, right? What I'll do is I'll pull up a document, I'll write down quotes, and then I'll like write down my rebuttals as they go on, and then I'll just like
I do that.
Yeah. Like, it's really useful. It's really useful. Like whenever people ask me like, "What's your tip for debate?" Pull up a fucking notepad document.
Yeah, that is incredibly useful. Like just in PF, when I'm debating, like at debate tournaments and shit, like it's important that you win. So what I do is I just typically I do rebuttals, so I have to speak second, and I have 3 minutes of crossfire just to like write down whatever the fuck they said, and then write down rebuttals and get rebuttals like really quickly. Because my partner will just ask the other person questions and just waste time for 3 minutes. So what I do is I just write down like contention 1. They said blah blah blah. This is false because it's blah blah blah. And then I just do all the other contentions, and then I do frontlining.
What do you mean by that specifically? I think like, I have an idea. Like...
Yeah, there may be like new terminologies or whatever because you're an old man. So, so frontlining is just when you like you basically this like so first team that speaks has to do rebuttals first, and they don't get to hear what the other person has to say about their case. So if I refute the other person's case, then and I'm first speaking, so I speak first in the round, that basically means that I can't refute their rebuttal, so I can't respond to what they said about my case.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, frontlining is just when I respond to whatever the fuck they said about their rebuttals, and then I refute their rebuttals. I just say, okay, they're wrong about us being wrong.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's odd to explain.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. And then, fucking, it would be hard right now, and then, like, everyone has their own morality, just because everyone has this was, like, my point, if someone were to bring up, like, oh, yeah, but, like, moral systems are subjective, I just said, like, this, everyone has their own morality, just because they're individual, unique moral systems. Subjective doesn't mean we justify one specific moral system being inconsistent. Yeah, that's the entire point. And then, yeah, that's the entire document. I wrote that, like, I think less than 15 minutes before. Me and Aiden, we got in VC like 10 minutes before the stream started, right when the stream was happening. And during that, I typed this up. I woke up like 10 minutes before I DM'd Aiden. I was like, yo, we still down for like 3 o'clock? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. You want to hop in VC?
Bro, this guy.
And I wrote that shit down. I mean, I did really well. Everyone universally agreed. I don't know if he did. I think he might have asked me like, "What are you typing down?" I was just like, "Oh yeah, some shit."
What surprises me about this entire thing is like when B-Day says it like 1 year ago, however long ago he said it. everyone like has a public outcry. Everyone that like congratulated you, like Aiden Project was like, "What the fuck is this kid on about?" And John Swan was like, "What the fuck?" And then Nicholas Diorio was like, "What a fucking nit!" And everyone was just like,
Yeah, I think it's just probably because I don't know if I'd say this, but I think I'm a little bit better at arguing than Beat is.
so like,
Generally speaking, I think I'm whenever because when people watch the debate, they're like, "Oh yeah, it was really cool to see you like clap Aiden Project in the debate. You were like really logical throughout it." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, thanks."
yeah, but just what makes sense is like, what doesn't make actually it does make sense just because like you're perceptually dominant, and not only that, but like you're pretty good at debate, and people know you from that. And honestly, the fact that John Swan was commenting on it, and yet he's too fucking scared to debate you, just what the fuck,
bro, dude,
what?
I like fucking hell. I think Aiden told me that John Swan told him to debate me. That's what he said.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, John Swan's a pussy then.
He said if you're really politically inclined, you should debate Bunk. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was a bad idea on Aiden's part. Man didn't even know how to fucking prepare for it. Like, here's the thing about like debating you or whatever. I thought we were gonna get in a full-on debate, so I wrote like a full-on like, wait, how long is this document? It's a long document, and it just has like whatever the fuck you say, and basically most of it is just you saying that it's an ideal theory, and basically just you contradicting yourself or whatever. And obviously, the dude debating you just had no fucking idea you were doing that because he's an idiot.
No, I could say whatever. I realized halfway throughout the debate, I could say whatever the fuck I wanted. I could literally go off with whatever the fuck tangent I wanted, and he wouldn't be able to respond to anything because he's fucking dumb.
You started saying really weird shit like at
I did, because I realized I could say whatever the hell I wanted now, and I wouldn't get contested on any of it adequately. So I went on to argue the most absurd shit possible just to prove to like everybody that he was really fucking dumb.
How old is this man?
I don't know, but he wanted to debate me. I don't know why. Why would you do that?
He just fucked himself over.
He was like, I want to talk to you about trans issues. And I'm like, okay, I mean, a lot of people know I'm really good at arguing that. Like, sure, you want to go? We can do this shit.
Read like a full-on like 100-page document for it, and then he came over there like, oh, we define them as this, or like with this dumbass ontological argument. And then when you ask them like one question, okay, why does it serve a purpose, or does it have utility to make the distinguishing? And he was just like, objective reality.
It's objective.
And he gave a good example, and he was like, I don't know.
Exactly. It was really stupid. I was like, what the? I could literally. He's a perfect example of like a pseudo intellectual person, right?
And you tried, and you like read this entire fucking. Wait, how much did you read on this? Did you read my document on it?
What now? Your document?
Yeah, about transgender issues.
I think I only have like a couple pages of it read. I was just wondering like if you had like, because people are like to make the argument like, what was it? Like, oh yeah, gender transition doesn't help people. I was like, oh, is there actual like really credible studies to back this? Right? I was like,
there's one, and it's not even credible at all.
Yeah,
I'm the person that literally cited it, and I disagree with it.
Yeah, dude. The Sweden one to make like it pisses me off that people cite that. I don't
cite. I may cite it if I'm just debating with someone and they're just fucking dumb. But honestly, I don't like to debate the trans issue because like,
yeah.
Honestly, I'm probably wrong on it, and I don't like arguing it, and it does it does not matter.
I mean, it really doesn't. I think I argue it a lot because people like are really. I find people like can be really stupid on it, so you can like ask a lot of questions. Like I could literally just pull like I could just like straight up pull through like a Socratic method, like I do with like Aiden, right? You just ask a lot of questions until like they're like, oh wait, I'm really fucking wrong on this.
You just ask questions, and then you draw parallels, and then you draw contradictions, and then it's like, oh wait,
what the fuck? I think my editor said something like a couple days ago. It was really funny. I was like, oh yeah, I got known in the small commentary community for a video on Pyman I made it ages ago. He's like, no, you got known in the small commentary community because you were willing to say outrageous shit, and then people would come into your stream to debate you, and then you get fucking owned and realize they don't know fucking anything about reality.
I don't know, dude. They have no idea. But what do you think about Stephen Hawking saying philosophy is dead?
I think it's pretty
I don't know why I
stupid.
just figured out.
I think it's really stupid. Philosophy
Yeah.
as in nature is to interpret certain data, right? What science can tell you is the data. It can't like tell you how to interpret data. That's completely philosophy, and you require philosophy to interpret data.
I don't know why he said that. I think he was just thinking about like Socrates and like Descartes or something, and he was like, "Yeah, it's dead." And then like one Christian dude, and this all happened like 5 years ago. I don't even know why I'm just now getting to this, but he's literally dead now. Based. So this one dude named John Lennon. Do you know him?
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
Yeah, no,
the bald guy. He basically said
yeah.
that he knows nothing about philosophy, and he basically just said that his own argument contradicts itself. Because you know what Stephen Hawking said? He said that the universe had to exist because the law of gravity necessitated it. That made no fucking sense. It's stupid. Like, and people, I don't know. Sure, he was a genius or whatever, but like, I feel like if anyone, like any philosopher, just had a debate with him, like he would just fucking crumble.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. He doesn't know much about philosophy. Yeah. That's one of the weaker points. Yeah. I don't know how you comment on like philosophy being dead though. If you don't know anything about it.
Exactly. I don't know why he would do that. It's so naive. Well, even William Lane Craig responded to it, and he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this kid? Or not kid,
grown ass adult with a fucking speaking spell."
This man don't even know how to speak. Look at the top of his head. What if debate was like roasting people?
Bro, I thought the debate was I insulted him so many times, and it was so funny to me. So the Akuma debate, I fucking
he just like did not respond,
dude, because I knew I could bully him. I love bullying, dude. So like, you know, the one inspiration for me, my original inspiration for like the content that I make now is like 2017 Destiny. I was a fan of Destiny, like a big fan of Destiny with it throughout 2016 to like 2018, around that time frame, right? Late 2016, early 2018. That was like peak Destiny. Okay, if you were not around for that, you have no idea how much you missed. It was so fucking funny. So I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck about any of the politics or any of the philosophy. I just really liked watching Destiny bully people, in like a blood sports format. No, dude, I fucking loved it. It was so funny. There's this one Destiny quote, and I love it. I cherish it with all my heart, because I was there to see it live, and it was so funny to me. Okay, so he was having a discussion with Brittany Venti. You know, Brittany Venti's fucking retarded. Like, I think we all know Brittany Venti was stupid, right? She comes onto this stream, and he says something about her eye. Like, she insults him for being short, and he says, "You have really fucking large eyes. You know that? I think you know that I was short. I mean, you can see fucking everything." And she was like, "I can't believe you just go on to insult my fucking eyeballs like that." He said, "I'm not insulting your eyes. I'm complimenting your field of vision." And I fucking died.
I don't know. Like, I hate it when people insult other people in debates because it's just so inappropriate. Like,
I think there's a time and a place for it. I think if somebody's being really stupid, it can be really rhetorically effective. But I also think,
I mean, like, here's the thing: if you do that, they're just, as soon as you do that, like, their ears just turn off. They're not listening to you anymore.
Oh, I know, but Akuma wasn't listening to me at all, like, even to begin with. So.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I was literally explaining in the nicest way possible what categories were.
Oh yeah, and you went in circles at least 20 times.
I did. I explained it over and over again. At one point in the debate, I was like, "Oh, you're just fucking retarded. I'm sorry. You're really stupid. I don't."
I remember you were like.
I think I asked him. "Do you actually care about fucking any of these issues? Or is this just like a reactionary scapegoat for you?"
Wait, what did he say?
He said, "What do you mean by that?" I'm saying, "Do you actually give a fuck about like any trans issues or maximizing any kind of like utility, or are you just saying this shit because it like bolsters a right-wing audience?"
The second one.
Definitely, dude. If you actually like cared about the issue, you actually like, I don't know, Google metaphysics just once. Just like Google it.
I don't
type it
know.
in the search bar.
But have you ever heard of metaphysics?
What is that? That sounds
meta-ontology.
Hold up, let me look this up. Meta.
I heard William Lane Craig talk about it when he was talking about the Stephen Hawking shit. I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
Metaphysics is the philosophical study of metaphysics. Wait, can we have a metaphysics where we study metaphysics?
Bro, let's do it. And then we get metaphysics.
Yes, we're creating new philosophical studies as we speak.
Oh my god. What
Just
would that
add
be
meta.
for the next Aristotle?
I am Socrates reincarnated for this one moment.
Same.
An absolute simple question says, "As what is the proper study of the matter of metaphysics, or what methodology should be explored or addressed with the metaphysical disputes?" Yeah, dude.
Did you just stutter that like for 5 seconds?
No, because I look, dude. I legitimately, I didn't sleep last night because like some shit that went down with me in the commentary community.
What happened?
I can send you the post I made about it. It's been like pretty fucking AIDS for me. Hold on.
The incest debate?
No, it has nothing to do with that. In fact, I've gotten overwhelming support from the incest debate. I think I got a couple of people like
so weird. And then Mr. Beatank out here, he just like, oh yeah, it's all to do with like how you went about like sharing that information. It's all to do with that because like, people love debates, especially like when your opponent is just getting destroyed and they're so unprepared, right?
Yeah.
But like people like hate it when you have like a fucking video game in the background and then you're just like, guys, get this. Incest is not bad. Let me tell you why.
It's just kind of based.
Pedophilia, it's also not bad. Let me tell you why. And he also tweets it, and then he's like, I don't even know why he would do that.
The thing is, I think I said it once. This is the one time that Aiden picked it out, right? I said once on a podcast, someone was like, what do you think is your worst take? Or like, what do you think is the take that most people would like disagree with the most? And I said, I think incest is a morally neutral thing. And then I had so many different people on there, and they all tried to argue that point with me, and they all lost.
That. I saw that.
They all fucking lost. And it was so funny to me. They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna bring a topic. I was like, okay, my topic's incest.
They're just like, what?
Let's talk about it. No, because I just got off of a live stream where someone tried to debate me on incest as well. But it was like 2 different people who saw it, right? I was like, okay, I know, I'm thinking about incest right now. You guys want to talk about incest?
Yeah, I just fucked my brother over there. You want to talk about incest?
Yo, you want to talk about incest?
Yes.
My uncle
Honestly,
heard me debating incest.
Is when you say like pedophilia is not wrong. Because like people automatically say like, well, yes, it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. When you talk about pedophilia, most of the time it just means sexual attraction. It doesn't mean.
Oh yeah, no. Preying on children is wrong. I don't think being a pedophile, like the psychosexual disorder of pedophilia, having that is intrinsically wrong.
Like obviously, it couldn't be wrong because for something to be wrong, you would have to choose to do that action. And it
had to be a normative choice. Exactly. Yeah.
So they have as David Hume would say, they're not a moral agent.
Yeah.
In this situation.
Evil Ronald Reagan be like, and then just nothing. Okay.
David Hume.
Hold on, let me send you a picture of Tired Cast right now, just for no extra.
Bro, I think you sent me the wrong thing.
No, I sent you the other thing that happened, and I sent it to you.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were talking about that though.
Yeah, I know, it's been pretty fucking AIDS, dude.
Wait.
Oh yeah, there's a picture of Tired Cast.
Oh wait, is your girlfriend like, bro? I thought that was an online relationship for a second.
I mean, we met on the internet, but it wasn't exclusively an online thing.
Oh.
No, but like she's really close to me. It's only an hour away. It was like, okay, yeah.
Honestly, just pretend like you broke up, and then don't do it.
That's your prescriptive right now.
That's the best idea. Just manipulate everyone like John Swan. You know, it worked out for him.
John Swan's doing real good right now, guys. I promise, bro. I feel bad because I remember on a podcast a while back, like me and John Swan had we didn't like each other because I challenged him to a debate, whatever the fuck, and he quote tweeted me. Yeah, that bullshit. I think I said John Swan's channel is dead forever. There's no way he's coming back from this shit, dude. Look at these fucking numbers. And I pulled up his channel. I made fun of how he wasn't getting any viewership. And then he pulls out a video. I was like, I'm kind of a dick. I'm kind of a massive asshole.
Is that like a meme? What the fuck?
No, he put out a video talking about like how he's like in a financial really bad situation because he can't come back from like YouTube and he's not getting the views he used to.
Oh, so he basically tried to guilt trip you.
No, I kind of understand because in like retrospect, I don't think John Swan did like that horrible of things. Like he apologized for something.
What happened was like John Swan was like, I'm kind of bored, you know what I mean? So he just tried to like entertain his boredom, so just get rid of the boredom and just lie to everyone. So that sounds kind of fun.
Hey guys, you know that John Swan liked to dream? I'm gonna make a tweet just saying dream light to John Swan. That's gonna be the tweet. That's gonna be the whole tweet.
If John Swan was just like, yeah, I faked the account or whatever, deal with it, I think no one would care. I wouldn't care. It'd be based if he was like spamming the N-word or something. That'd make it better.
I think Pyman came out of my stream and he was like, I thought it was really based. And hold on, I gotta hold up. I think he came out of my stream, right? Right after the shit broke, and he said, I think that it's I'm really happy at the fact that it's now canon that John Swan said the word.
Whoa, you actually said it.
I'm bleeping that. That's getting bleeped out, by the way. Canonically, I didn't say shit. All right, you didn't hear fuck all.
All right, yeah, I didn't hear anything.
I didn't say shit. Anyways, I said the word. Okay, guys.
Exactly. But these people don't know what they're talking about. I say the
word all the time.
Yeah, the word. Just bleep all this words out, so everyone thinks that's the N word.
I really like the word. It's my favorite word.
Same.
God, I hate.
We're gonna get canceled for this. I'm gonna get fucking spelled.
You have to understand, I am the uncancelable YouTuber.
Remember the last person who said that?
And I think Jalen said that to me. He said, like, you're the uncancelable YouTuber. Or she said you're uncancelable YouTuber. And I said, remember what happened last time somebody said that?
Yeah, nothing good.
And then they just sent a picture of John Swan, and we all fucking laughed it up in the group chat.
Wait. Oh, wait, no, I'm not gonna join that group chat because of fucking... I swear to God, I fucking hate that person. I don't like Jalen.
I mean, I don't even know. Me and Jalen, I think Jalen's takes are pretty shit politically. I think she's a class reductionist who really needs to, like, I don't know, look into any kind of moral philosophy. But, I mean, I don't really despise her. She follows me on Twitter. I mean, we like, talk to each other, yeah.
Bro, I had this argument, and then she leaked out my DMs when she disagreed. Fucking stupid.
That's a
And then everyone was like, yeah, this guy's a cunt. Even though I don't know why.
Bro, people just didn't want to argue
with
you.
But
the thing is, like, I'll like,
whatever.
I don't like calling people a bigot. I think it's really stupid. But, like, people just do that. Like, reflexively.
Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, even if I was being bigoted, like, how would that change my mind by saying you're a bigot? I don't know.
Oh, guess I'm pro-trans now.
Oh, I'm a bigot? Alright, I agree with you now. But, like, I don't
let's bring
really care at all
because he knows a lot, I think, about comedy. How much do you know about Pastel Bell Shining?
I'm literally looking at.
Matter.
I just realized I just looked up a really fucking random clip of Tirecast. This is all gonna come out of the video, but I'm just gonna upload this raw file and like just bleep out a couple things, and that's it. There you go. Look at that clip from Tirecast live stream earlier today. I think I'm just gonna end the recording now, so I don't have too much to edit. I think we've been on for like an hour and 30 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a W.
Bro,
Anyways, peace.